A philosopher concerns himself with three basic questions. What is true? What is good? And what is beautiful? It just generally places the philosopher at odds with his fellow man. And at some point he'll have to hit the road and say, FTW. The world. The world isn't a patch that you wear on your jacket, but rather it's a mindset and a way of life. Things were getting a bit much at the house, so I thought I'd head down to Corona, New Mexico and check my mail. The round trip is about 140 miles. This gave me some time to think about where I've been, where I'm going, and the meaning of FTW. New Mexico is a stark contrast from the ghettos, Lower Wacker Drive, and the back alleys that I spent years documenting the people who live there. It started to get too much and I had to say, FTW. I covered countless protests, teachers' strikes, war protests, government protests, and I realized how mindless the masses were. And I had to say, FTW. When I came to New Mexico, I met a good friend. He had spent years riding his motorcycle literally millions of miles across the continent of Africa, Alaska, United States, and England. Whenever we email each other, we always end by saying, as always, FTW. What this friend told me, the true meaning of FTW is that you do what is morally right and you worry about what is legal later. What is true? What is good? What is beautiful? These are forbidden questions in our radical egalitarian world controlled by cultural Marxists that we live in today. So I had to run out into the desert, build me a home off-grid. I had to say, FTW. Time to see what's in that mailbox. As usual, nothing but junk and advertisements. As luck would have it, even though we've gone more than 100 days without rain, on the way home, I got hit in a rainstorm. The further north I rode, the colder it was getting. The last 17 miles can be rather tiresome, and I had to bear down and put my face into the wind. But I love it. I love being on my motorcycle, the feeling of freedom. Freedom isn't free. It's oftentimes a hardship. The more freedom that we want, the less safety and comfort we can have. I finally made it to my country road and headed off across that cattle guard, where on the other side is another world. A world that time has forgotten. It's about 3.5 miles from the paved road back to my house. It's a rough terrain and I have street tires on my Harley. I dump it every once in a while, but most of the times I make it in. It's always good when I see the house. And now, we have a new friend. A dog that we've named Buddy. Oh yeah. It's good to be back home, and it's good to see you too, my friend. There was no way in hell the state of Arizona was going to turn me loose without first dishing out a good beating. So she threw down icy rain, strong gusty winds, and gray, gray skies. I persevered for a couple hundred miles through this, and then finally, it broke free and the sun rained down.
Damn bikers.
Causing all the problems in the world. Oh man, beautiful ride. The wind's kind of died down and I'm actually on an Indian reservation riding through it here. And these cacti are Arizona's the only place where they exist, and I'd never seen them before. And here it is up close. Ain't that cool? I love seeing new things. Yeah, I did about 500 miles today. I'm quite beat. And I'm going to set up camp down this road, right down the street from a major truck stop here. And a good place to camp out. I don't think anybody's going to mess with me here. A lot of times I'll camp out at the truck stop, but this one's kind of small and doesn't really have a spot in the back where I can squirrel away. So I came down the road a little piece and going to camp out here. I don't think anybody's going to mess with me. I like being next to the truck stop. That way I got my coffee and my breakfast in the morning. Now, one of the benefits of doing the state campgrounds is the showers included. A lot of these truck stops, they're anywhere from like $9 to $14 if you pay for a shower, and that's about the same price for the campgrounds. Most of them are anywhere from 10 to 12 bucks a night, or excuse me, 8. Some of them are 8, even 7. So I like the state campgrounds because a lot of them also have laundromats and everything that you need. But you know, traveling on the road on a fixed income, you can't be getting hotels every night and just swiping the MasterCard. So you got to find, you know, other alternatives. So I'm going to set up my little tarpon bags out, and it's only going to be down to 45 tonight, so that's not so bad. So we did 500 miles and some off-road camping tonight. Be safe out there and keep the rubber side down. Soon the sand dunes that were all along Interstate 8 in Southern California gave way to lush green fields. I headed north on 111 towards Slabs City. I was really loving all the beauty around me. Yeah, I'm at Slabs City right here. This is called Salvation Mountain. You've seen it 100 times on YouTube. Here it is. I figured any road dog worth of salt that hits Southern California ought to do some time at the Slabs. This place has gotten pretty popular with the advent of YouTube, but basically they call this the last free place on earth. This used to be some sort of, anyway, this land is in some sort of legal dispute and has been for a long time. So it is a designated area of some sort. People just live out here for free and have for a very long time, and it's kind of a mecca of all the hippies and road dogs in the world. So I figured, hey, you know, might as well hit this place. I'm gonna camp here tonight. This fucking place ought to be a trip, huh? We'll see what we get into here. Stay tuned. All right, here I am at my first camp.
I'm having a fucking ball right now.
Getting it all set up.
Come on down to the ramp and straight up, will you? Straight up before you get there. I'll straighten you up and you get there.
This gentleman has a ranch out here. You've
That's
lived here.
right.
You lived here a year.
I've been me and my baby girl, Miss Dollar, right there. We have been out here a year. March 10th will be exactly a year.
Okay.
March 10th coming up. 1 year.
Was that your first time out here?
Yes, sir. I'm from the east, if you can't tell. I'm from the south, the southeast. Louisiana was my favorite place. I had a place called home. It would be Louisiana, the bayou.
Good choice.
And so it was French Quarter, but that's two different worlds, but they're all both cool.
I love the quarters.
Both of them. There ain't nowhere
Huh?
else like that. There ain't nowhere else like French Quarter anywhere. And there ain't
No,
nowhere
there's
else
not.
like
New
it.
Orleans has got real culture.
Oh, yes. Oh, the true people, man. The rich houses, you go down Esplanade, you go down a canal all the way past out the French Quarter. And to go down that business there, you go down the money side. But guess what? That ain't the Ninth Ward. That's where I
No.
had to hang, see, because
Right.
that's all I could afford. Because the Ninth Ward is for hoodlums, about hoodlums, and that was the place that still had.
I stayed 3 months there.
In the Ninth Ward?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I spent, then I went to jail. Back to Florida on 45 days, lost my dog, lost almost.
What's your dog's name?
No, I lost my other dog, Shadow. This
Oh,
is Zyla.
Zyla.
Say hello.
How you
She's
doing,
only
Zyla?
got one Z, but she's got more than, oh man, she has love for every human being.
She seems
now,
like a pretty good
canines,
dog.
she will check them at the door or anywhere she's at. Oh yeah, up against the wall, mofo. She says that's what she tells the dog. And guess what? She runs the. As small as she is, and as hairy and as
Is she a lady?
Huh?
She girl dog?
Oh yeah, she's a teenager.
That's why
16
she
years
ruled?
old with no cell phone. Now, if you can imagine all that, you can see and picture a little bit of Miss Brat. People say, "What kind of dog is that?" I say, "Well, she's a 100% Brat."
So you're Doc, and you've lived here how long?
Just shy of a decade.
A decade.
Lived in the valley just shy of 20 years now. I take it the entire time I've spent less than 24 hours outside the place.
Really?
Outside the valley, that is. I was born in Bitburg, Germany, near Rheinland-Pfalz. Military brat. Out there before I was out of swaddling. I've been here and there and there and there and there. It's sort of like being a military brat, except instead of me packing my bags, everybody else does.
You were in the Navy too, right?
Never again volunteer yourself.
There you go.
Yeah, started harping up on that selective service thing, the registration. No, we're not going to have a draft, but here's your number. So I figured, well, we wasn't grousing anybody too big at the moment. At least not that it would matter if they would, yeah. But I looked at it and I says, well, I don't want to be in the battle jumpers, you know, the Coast Guard, because they're just a little too academy looking. And I didn't want to go into Marines or Army because, I don't know, I don't want to gain weight. You know, lead, Navy, that sounded pretty good because I get in, get out. They wouldn't be able to get me later when he did something stupid. And most of the people we were yelling at the time, I think biggest thing they had to muster was like cigar butts. I wasn't too worried.
Right.
So I found myself on a duty station where they had no need for what I was trained for. Certain mental panic sets in because you better think of it before they do. Well, they also had a new radar guy they trained up, but he's only happy with the silicon stuff. He couldn't quite get his head around the glass things, the tubes.
What brought you out here?
Well, there's a sort of a evolution of coming down here. at one point I was saying there was, high six figures in checking and savings. Maybe a bad day was 126 an hour, stuff like that. But then I got to spend a few years with the doctors collecting souvenirs. And I think the best thing that ever happened is when I ran out of money to pay Kaiser. I mean, man, butcher shop. One hospital knew what to do and wanted to fix me, but wasn't part of Kaiser. If I when the Kaiser ran out, they got their turn at me. And the last bill was $666,573.58, but it did include a complimentary coma. The K-hole for almost a month. Interesting experience. When they brought me out, you end up comparing notes. People are hanging around while you're out versus you sitting there looking like you're nothing, but you're there in a way. Because it's not just, no. It's an interesting dreamscape of misformed objects derived from insufficient data. And also there's a major disassociation. Like when someone cuts you off or steals your parking space, you get suggestions from the peanut gallery, right? Well, those are some of what I call the squirrels. The ones that drive the car when you're filling the stereo with drugs and trying to figure out how to get in the pants of the passenger and you don't crash. The squirrels. Anyway, those are the ones that give those cool suggestions. Yeah, maybe tomorrow.
So this was a munitions dump.
I do believe, yes, sir. And in the late 40s, I believe it was. And then they had big players that wanted to make desert training and stuff like that here. So they came in, did the slabs and whatnot. And
my name's Connie.
Connie, and you've lived out here, you said what?
Since 2003, and I haven't left yet.
You lived here before that, though, once too,
yeah,
right?
I was here before. My first son was 1996. Yeah.
And then you left, and
I left and moved to Redding, California, and got back down here because we got kicked out of our apartment because some Mexicans family wanted to move their family and relations, so I had to move out.
Okay, so you live out here because it's free rent.
It doesn't cost.
so we'll be back.
Are you all set?
And we'll be there.
Are you sure?
No. Word, I know what the word is.
For 3 years? At this one spot? Okay. What brings you here?
Free camping. Not have to pay somewhere to stay just for camping. You're charging me to stay in a little.
Right.
Then you're restricting me that I have to walk my dog with a leash and a pooping bag and da.
Morning.
Morning. How are you?
So here you can spread out a little bit.
Yeah. Here's more. We are all dysfunctional. Everybody's dysfunctional in this world.
Yeah.
But their dysfunctionality can work with certain range.
Well, you know what I was kind of thinking about this place?
Well, this is.
There's a high rate of schizophrenia and bipolar disorder. Which is okay. I'm not being judgmental.
No. Sure.
I'm just saying, instead of being in institutions, living free and not being on the doctor's medications and all that stuff, people come out here.
The medications is designed to make people feel better, so they adapt, and then they take the medication away, and then they have adapted, a different life. But then when you don't take the medication,
it's no good, right?
It's harder because it's up to you then. So I'm not going to take the medication, but it's up to me to get out of the depression, to get out of the anxiety, to realize. So the only way is learning, man. You start so much. In our days, I'm 57.
Yeah, I'm 51.
Okay, in our days, my parents, my grandparents, they had to go to the library, trying to find the book.
Right.
And if the book was there, if not, they have to look for the book. Yeah, we can order the book. Yada yada yada. Now you go to the internet, you go.
And that's it.
That's right.
Any questions?
1,628,562 web pages of that.
Right.
One thing.
Yeah.
Millions of pages, man. It's like.
That's true.
So who do I believe?
You can find out for yourself now.
Exactly. Well, we grow older, we grow wiser. Most people see restrictions.
Right.
I have to do this. Then they get used to. We get used to get up at 6. I don't want to do it, but I have to go to work. 40 years doing the same shit. Pressing the same buttons, you know. Never took care of my health. Then it's like, I'm in my 50s, my 60s, or my late 40s, and I'm healthy. You know, smoke, I did drugs, alcohol, didn't sleep, didn't exercise, obese, whatever, you know. Then I said, oh, let me go and apply for, you know, so the government can send me.
Right.
I made all my cash money. I didn't invest. I lived the life. Now I'm in need. Oh, let me take the government said, no. We all have to die. Then you might die younger than me. I might die younger than you, you know.
Nobody knows.
Nobody knows.
What was your name?
I'm Caribe.
I'm Chuck. Good to meet you.
Chuck, my pleasure, man. Yeah, we're all dysfunctional, man, but there's a lot of people out there, but this is who we became.
Right.
For X, Y, Z reasons.
Reasons.
I chose to come here. I got stuff. Somebody left me here. Somebody gave me a ride here and took off, and I had no money, no income, whatever the reason.
Right.
A lot of good people here. There's 94-year-old lady who died this year, 94, living on her own.
Wow.
What, 94? If she can do it.
Right.
There's another one that the other 2 ladies are in their 70s. Most of them are in their 60s.
Sure.
Late 60s, early 70s.
That's ZZ I'm looking for, 65.
If he has a camp, he's got to be.
He calls it the ranch. He says he's got a chain link fence around it. And I rode my scooter all over. I couldn't find anybody with a chain link fence. Okay, so that's my first encounter with some of the residents here at Slabs City. It's a beautiful moon over the mountains there behind me, but I think I'll sleep with my boots on. I've also left the top off of the tent so that I can see the scooter. Yeah, interesting place in some ways, and then as you can see, probably a high percentage of people who are suffering from bipolar disorder and schizophrenia, probably. Not bad people, but not right in the head maybe so much. And a lot of stealing, a lot of drug addiction, and so kind of sad in a way, but you know, everybody has to have a life, I guess. And so that's my first thoughts, my first impressions on my first several hours here at Slab City, Southern California.
Shoulder as a baby, well, when I was in the Marine Corps, and I had excellent vision then. For 25 years of working steel, flash burns, smoking mines.
And you're 65,
steel,
ain't you?
Mines, huh?
Ain't you 65?
Excuse me?
You said you were 65?
4.
64, sorry, I don't mean to add. Yeah, we'll cook these potatoes
So
up.
look, I got a little hand towel too.
All right.
You
got some pepper, you said too?
Some spices and whatnot.
Is that ready yet? Let's see, let's throw one in there. Almost, man, almost. Get that fire over
It's a
here.
little snapper thing. I like a little Rice Krispies. I got these from the last time they passed out commodities. They're pretty good for them.
What is it?
Rice Krispies.
Oh, yeah.
At first, I munched on a snack like crackers or. So, anyway. They're pretty good. We're non-sweet, you know. I like sweet cereals. I usually keep a little bag or something like that, you know, to munch on.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's nice to have a little treat.
Being plain and everything was such a different, you know, what I'm saying, whatever. Treat, you know, different. Yeah, it was kind of nice, very nice.
As soon as that heats up, we'll get going. Little salt, little pepper. One of the advantages of being cooked is you get to pick these and eat them. Very good.
But ever since the computer and the telephone and texting and thumb work came into play,
right?
Everybody got totally stupid.
They did, didn't they?
Yes, because now they Google everything.
I agree.
They don't keep nothing in their head. They don't understand nothing because they don't know nothing of the knowledge that they can tote around with them. Without their phone, they are absolutely.
I tell you, I'm grateful for this meal.
Amen. Believe me, you won't go hungry. The ranch you're right around the corner here.
Grateful for this meal.
not gonna go hungry.
Grateful for this meal. Zizi's generosity and authenticity warmed my heart for sure. The German philosopher Arthur Schopenhauer once wrote about how it's poor people who tend to be more generous and compassionate than those who are well-to-do. I found this to be true quite often. And while it's a good thing to judge people by how they look, it's not always the whole story. Here in this adventure, we had the Rubs, who when I had my tools all over the ground, was working on my motorcycle. They looked right through me, never even asking if I needed assistance. Very well-to-do people. And yet I meet some old man, Zizi, who doesn't have hardly anything, and he's willing to share what he has with me out at Slab City. All different kinds of people in this world. Some good, some bad. You can't always judge a book by its cover. So we've gone about 1,500 miles now. I've made it to the Pacific Ocean. There's no more road.